you, listen up. I've got something to report. It's about you outsiders. Actually, guess I shouldn't bother reporting you to yourself. The Ashen Wolves may seem tough, but they're harmless. Honestly, things can get pretty boring down here. But here's a little piece of wisdom from me to you. Boredom's a luxury. Trust me, I know these things.
You're quite a fetching lady, but even your looks don't compete with the likes of Yuri. Don't let that pretty face of his fool you, though. He's a rogue, through and through. Even so, the people of Abyss trust him. He may be a scoundrel, but he's our scoundrel.
Want a drink? Of course you don't. It's all terrible down here. Nobody important enough to carry the good stuff wants to come underground to sell it to us. It's a shame. Just once I'd like to taste something worthy of a noble.
I told Yuri I wanted to be just like him when I grew up, and he said I shouldn't ever say stuff like that. So I told Balthus I didn't want to be like him when I grew up, and he said I'd grow up boring. What do they want me to say?
What do you require? Farewell. Welcome. Come back soon.
Hey there. What's all the commotion about? Hey, hang on. I've never seen you before. You a first-timer? Word of advice. Watch your back. The only folks who hang around down here are the ones too shady to walk in the goddess's light.
Hiya, Professor. Allow me to introduce you to my brother's best friend. You can call him Balti.
Actually, it's Balthus. You've probably heard of me. In the Alliance, I'm known as, how should I put it? Something like that. To be precise, I'm known as the undisputed king of grappling. I may not look it, but I was once a noble from a minor house. Life's full of twists and turns.
I know you, Balti. I'm pretty sure you got yourself into this mess.
What the?
Is that so? It looks like this is where the people of Abyss leave their unwanted belongings. I didn't expect to find much, but there's actually plenty of gear we could salvage. I'm told we can take anything we can use, so it might be good to check on it now and again.
Might you possibly be the Imperial Princess herself?
I am. And you are Constance of House Nouvelle. I recall hearing of your disappearance. I never would have imagined you'd end up in a place like this.
Your presence is equally curious. What business could you have here? Don't tell me it was idle curiosity.
As I believe you are well aware, we were chasing after a suspicious individual.
You're not a holy knight, and you don't seem all that special. But you're certainly mysterious, wielding that hero's relic. Yeah, I've heard all about you. But I never figured I'd see you down here, chasing after someone and getting lost in the process. The classroom for the Ashen Wolf House. Just so we're clear, we're not affiliated with the Officers Academy. Since we're not part of the Academy, it's really just in place for us. Can't go to the surface either. We've all got our reasons. We're a unique bunch from all walks of life. Once you get to know us, I'm sure you'll love it here.
Hey, new person. Want my advice? Don't wander too far off the beaten path. Abyssians like their privacy. If you go snooping around, there's bound to be trouble. Wait, did I introduce myself? My name's Happy.
Who knew an entire town was hiding beneath the monastery? And a secret fourth house to boot? Secrets upon secrets, so I'm just itching to know them all. I'm sure Rhea knows all about this place. Gods, how many secrets does that lady have?
What do you think, Professor? This is a most unique town, is it not? Incredible, really, that those who face depression on the surface are able to find sanctuary here. Oh, not to say that there's no helping the situation in Fodlan. To do just that is our duty and our honor. Even so, I find the idea rather lovely.
What? Find someone else to bother. Whatever the heck you're selling, I'm not buying. Not a trader, huh? Sorry, my mistake. Most folks chatting down here are just pawning off stolen goods.
You're from the surface, aren't you? I bet you're real bad. My mom says surface people are the worst.
Okay. Abyss is where I offer my prayers to my gods. It is the only place. The goddess of Fodlan is not one of my gods, but the statue here is not one of my gods either. I offer my prayers here all the same, because Abyss is where it is allowed.
What?
Professor? Oh, hello, Professor. Have you seen this library of theirs? It's completely different from the one in the monastery, and their collection is amazing. There are forgeries and banned books, legends, spells, and heresies. Doubt I'll catch a single wink tonight.
We're all done here, boss. Oh, but more importantly, about your...
We'll discuss that another time. For now, tend to your mission. Don't worry, no one will die. We'll get everyone out safely. Once the trap is set, shift your focus to protecting the Abyssians, just in case things go south. Oh, it's you. I was just heading off to ambush our attackers. You'll help with that, won't you?
Oh, does that mean your enemies are drawing near?
Very good. The scouts I sent to the surface spotted some mercenaries. We closed off the entrance they used last, but it seems they've already found another.
This is bad. We've got to evacuate everyone from Abyss as quickly as possible.
That won't be necessary. They'll be back soon.
Huh? Who?
Why do I have to go? No matter what we do, we're all just gonna die in the end anyway.
Sure, but if we do nothing, we'll die a lot sooner. I assume the corridor is successfully camouflaged?
But of course, our decoy shall prevent those scoundrels from chancing upon our living quarters. Do note that I am the bait upon your hook. If we fail, I shall be left dangling in the wind. But it must be done, I fear. And so, I will most happily accept the starring role in this.
They're at the entrance. They'll be coming in from the east.
The east. Good. We're well placed. Go ahead and draw them deeper into Abyss, just like we planned. Launching small counterattacks on the surface won't accomplish anything. It could also earn us the scorn of the church, if it gets messy. Which it will. That's why we have to lure the enemy underground before we take them out. I know the perfect spot.
Admit it, pals. You're knee-deep in this, just like us. There's no turning back now, right?
Of course not. If there's any way we can help your cause, we won't turn our backs on you.
That's right. We will not stand idly by while danger befalls the innocent people of Abyss.
If we can capture the enemy, we can perhaps learn the reason behind their relentless attacks.
Excited, are you? Fine. We could use more bodies to throw at our enemies. Thanks for volunteering.
So long as they're fighting with us and not against us, I don't care how excited they are. Let's get to it! Wow, an underground arena, huh? You sure know some great spots, Yuri.
I heard about this place from someone back in town. It hasn't been in use for a long time. I figured it could prove useful. So I spent some time clearing out the debris that was blocking the entrance.
It seems to be a revitalized ruin. Perhaps it was originally a reception hall or something similar.
Perhaps. Honestly, all of Abyss feels like a ruin.
This place is magnificent. It is just spacious enough to contain my glory. I shall not hold back here.
Large, isolated. I wonder if it would be okay for me to sigh here.
If Happy sighs, monsters come running. No, I'm not kidding.
I'm not sure what you could possibly mean by that.
I wish, Happy, but no. Absolutely no sighing. And Constance, be glorious in moderation. Understood? This place is so big that if it collapses, all of Abyss will fall with it. The whole reason we're luring our enemies here is to avoid damaging Abyss. Don't lose sight of that.
I am well aware of our aim.
Sure, but that doesn't mean we can trust you to show restraint.
You as well? I cannot fathom why I am being treated in such a way. It is the duty of the nobility to preserve the people's safety. Do you truly believe that I would destroy Abyss in my efforts to save it? Preposterous.
That would cause trouble for Elfie too. If the underground collapses, he's the one who will have to answer for it.
You must know Alfric, yeah? He's a bigwig in the church, but a friend of Abyss. He's the one who opened up this place to folks with nowhere else to turn. Folks like us. He gave us a home, a new life.
It is Alfric himself who put forth the idea of establishing the Ashen Wolf House. Sadly, he faces opposition within the church, and so he cannot openly deploy the knights to aid us.
That means Alfric relies upon us to protect the people who live here. Us, and now you. I hope you're ready, Professor. We're counting on you.
You are a professor at the Officers' Academy, are you not? You may not be our instructor, but I cannot think of a more fitting title to call you.
Seems like you're with us now. We'll owe you one.
Time to knock some sense into their thick skulls. They picked the wrong strangers to mess with.
Ah! I knew following those shady kids was a bad idea. This place is massive.
They actually fell for it. Let's get this done!
Other mercenaries are on their way. We left a nice little trail of crumbs for them to follow. We'll need to take them all out, or they'll just keep coming. Let's pull together.
Let me at 'em.
Sally forward!
Yep.
Sure thing.
I will prevail. Stay focused.
Battle. Ready and willing. Sorry, but victory is mine.
Who, me?
Is that all?
It'll be a shame to mar this pretty arena with a bunch of fresh corpses, but here goes!
I'll give it my all. That was tough.
Never underestimate an outsider. Progress.
Your defeat was inevitable. So
I'll cut through. Saw that coming. Is that all? I must keep aiming higher.
It's good to be king. Thanks, pal.
It's time!
As expected.
As I expected.
Over already.
Now you know your limits.
If only my...
I could use a break.
It's your call.
Sorry, but victory is mine.
This can't be the place, can it?
More visitors already? Allow us to offer you a premature burial.
Damn rats! Out of the way!
You're too kind. You're...
You'll not find it so easy to escape from the darkest depths of Garrick Mock. I've been practicing that one.
Couldn't weather the storm, huh? Too weak.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
Big.
No obstacle will stand. That won't...
Thanks for that.
Sorry, did I hurt you? Oh dear, maybe...
Is that all? Foolish!
That's what you get.
Thanks, pal.
Now you know your limits.
You lost to me?
How deep does this place go? I wonder if it's around here somewhere.
All we have here are your buddies' carcasses. Maybe you should turn around and go home.
Sorry. Thanks for that. Sorry.
I will get stronger.
I must steel myself.
I expect no less.
Saw that coming. No. That's how it goes.
Fearless, as usual.
Your defeat was inevitable. I must...
I knew you had it in you.
It's over. As expected. We must own...
That was amazing.
No biggie. Now I'm even tougher.
Ready and willing.
delicate flower, you know.
Failure is not an option.
Never underestimate an outsider.
Progress.
That was tough. I have so far left to go.
Allow me to demonstrate! Each battle, a chance to grow.
I've been practicing that one. My next effort shall compensate.
You're fresh out of luck.
All right, where's the treasure? I've had it with these Abyssians.
Jeez, will it ever end? I love a good brawl, but I'm sick of looking at these fools.
A great help.
I thought I smelled fresh blood. The worms will feast tonight. That sword awaited you in the holy mausoleum. Show me its power.
Leave that off.
You never had a chance.
must steel myself.
Sorry, but victory is mine.
You're making me... Sorry, did I hurt you?
You're in good form.
Too reckless. I'm...
Should I have held back? You fought well. Such power dwells within?
It's not luck, it's fate.
Who's next?
Be mindful.
Even stronger than I look, yeah?
Sweet dreams.
Life.
Fearless, as usual.
I've indulged too much. I take my leave for now.
Honestly, what a nuisance.
Boss, that's the last of them.
Good. Finally. Thanks for all the help, everyone.
I ain't going down without a fight. I'm taking you with me, punk.
I will not allow it.
Helfric, you're here. Well, shall we capture this fool?
Alfric, how serendipitous that you have come to our aid.
I am relieved that I wasn't too late. I do hope my presence proved useful.
No doubt about it. We needed the backup.
Professor, I do believe this is the first time our paths have crossed, is it not? Of course, I have heard all about you from Her Grace, the Archbishop. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Elfric. The Church has granted me custodianship of Abyss. Indeed, and despite my responsibilities, I am but a humble monk. I am sure you have already been told about Abyss's unique situation. For varying reasons, all of the inhabitants here are unable to live a peaceful life on the surface. People like the Dagtons and Almirans, who suffer undue persecution across Fodlan. The poor and the sick, who are forced into Abyss. Not to mention all the other unfortunate souls who ended up here. I believe it is my sacred duty to provide a place for those who have nowhere else to go.
Right. And the poor and sick living in a sunless crypt helps them... how?
Enough, Claude. Please, forgive my friend, Elfric. We would love to hear more.
In all honesty, I understand his concern. I dearly wish I could provide a better life for my flock. But it would appear that Her Grace and most of the Church consider the existence of Abyss to be something of a nuisance. I'm afraid so. Those within the Church who would see Abyss purged are swiftly growing in number.
That's the Church for you. They make a big deal out of helping the helpless, when it suits them.
We can't just sit back and accept the way things are. We've got to fight the system. Sure, I'm here to hide from literally countless bounty hunters, but I'm not the only one in need. You're in a bad way too, Happy. We can't just let the Church walk all over us.
Too true. For the sake of all who dwell in Abyss, we must help dear Elfric to turn the tide.
I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Your fervent support is all the reward I could ask for. As for you, Professor, I must beg a favor of you. The Ashen Wolves are a house in name alone. They are eager students with no teacher to guide them. If you could find it in your heart to take them under your wing, I would be most grateful. Naturally, your official duties take precedence, so you need only help out when your schedule allows.
Wait a minute, Elfric. Where's this nonsense coming from?
I second that question. We have no need of a professor when we have you.
Dear flock, I am a mere guardian. I can protect you, but I cannot enrich your minds. Though I call this gathering an academy house, I have long lamented that it isn't truly so. Now, I am blessed with the opportunity to correct this. The professor who stands before you has garnered a great deal of acclaim on the surface. A most trustworthy and esteemed teacher, to say the least. What's more, I happen to be acquainted with the father of this fine individual. I was born and raised in Garrick Mach, so I often have the opportunity to spend time with him. Your mother as well. She was a cherished friend of mine. I was even present for their wedding. With parents like yours, I have no doubt that you possess the kindness and patience necessary to guide these students.
But...
It'll be fine. It's not like we're strangers anymore. Say, Elfric, don't you need to take care of those thieves?
Ah, right you are. Please, excuse me. Oh, and one more thing, Professor. If ever you would like to hear more about your parents, I would be delighted to share my memories with you. Cindered Shadows, The Rite of Rising. Ah, Professor, to what do I owe this pleasure? Ah, yes, of course you do. I will gladly tell you all that I know. Where to begin? If you have something particular in mind, please ask and I shall answer as best I can. Kind and wise. I would often see her in the library, her nose always buried in a book. Gerald was very much then as he is now. His knights would have done just about anything for him. Whenever he had time to spare, he would instruct the children of the monastery in combat and tactics. Just like those wide-eyed youngsters, your mother and I made a hero of him in our minds. When I learned that Geralt and Citri were to be married, I was quite surprised. Back then, Geralt was something of a mentor to me. As for Citri, she found it difficult to express her emotions. It was only when she was gazing at Geralt that I ever saw her smile. A smile that rivaled the very sun. His tales of the outside world must have seemed like a lifeline for one as frail and guarded as she. Indeed, she lacked the strength to travel beyond the monastery. The only souls she ever spoke with were a select few within the monastery walls. I can picture it now. The stories he told her, his striking words, and his boisterous laugh. Listening to him must have given her a great deal of hope. As for me, I could never have become like Geralt, as much as I wished for it. I suppose I did. He would tell stories from a century ago as though he had lived them himself. No matter how fervently one studies the stories of old, that is no easy task. Professor, you traveled with Geralt before coming here. You must have seen a great many things, yes? Forgive me for overstepping, but do you not regret foregoing your travels to take up residence here? I see. Well, so long as you are satisfied, it is not my place to question your decision. To shape young minds must afford you a unique perspective on the world. I am certain my unsolicited advice is nothing but a nuisance, but please, hear me out. It is my hope that you will live a full life, experiencing the world, fostering strong relationships with people. Do so for dear Citri, whose wish to experience such things shall regretfully never be granted. I cannot deny it. It is my own stubborn notion, one that Her Grace will likely not think kindly of. Beyond my personal motive, I believe that you alone can guide my flock to even greater heights, and perhaps you will learn from them as well. But I have taken enough of your precious time. Know that I am here for you, always.
Pray tell, Yuri, did those foul bandits whom we bested at the arena confess to anything?
Not a word. And they wouldn't name names. I got the feeling they didn't know much themselves. However, one thing is clear. Whoever hired them is after something here in Abyss.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. They must have been on a treasure hunt or something.
A treasure hunt here? I don't get it. What is there to find in these dingy tunnels?
Eldrick, was it? Looks like this is ringing a bell for you.
Well, something does come to mind, but the notion is preposterous at best.
Never discount a wild hunch. Sometimes they're closer to the truth than you'd think.
Any lead will do, so long as it helps determine our next course of action. Please, go on.
As you wish, though again, it is quite far-fetched. You see, there is a long-standing legend here. It is said that deep underground, below even Abyss, is a place called the Chasm of the Bound, wherein lies the Chalice of Beginnings.
I've never heard of it, but chances are it's some kind of sacred artifact belonging to the church.
I once happened upon an old document that mentioned a ritual called the Rite of Rising. The text was incomplete, so I was unable to achieve a full understanding of the topic. I cannot even guarantee the authenticity of what I read. But it stated that the Chalice of Beginnings is a sacred object, crafted by order of Saint Seros herself. Saint Seros apparently used the artifact to carry out the Rite of Rising, along with the 4 apostles. It is a ritual that is believed to have the power to resurrect a life that was lost. However, the ritual failed. The 4 apostles bound the chalice, so that it would never fall into a mortal's hands.
The Rite of Rising, huh?
Ah, yes! The Chalice of Legend! My father mentioned it to me a very long time ago. A secret treasure of the church. A chalice, powerful enough to resurrect the dead. Exhilarating, no?
Quite. It is no small wonder that people are after it.
Even so, we still don't have much to go on. We must gather more information about this legend at once.
I wholeheartedly agree. I will do all I can to track down more clues within the monastery. Although Garrett Mock's library is so well curated, I doubt any further records will be found.
Wondrous! We shall do all that we can as well.
Excuse me.
Hey,